when you've coached people, okay, when you've coached people and they go off and they, and they, go into the world and whatnot, do they ever come back and then say, okay, listen, I learned so much. Because like I said to you, when I spoke with Renee, she said to me, this woman changed my life. I said, we've got to talk to her, right? So tell me, what is that like when people come back and say, hey, as a result of speaking with you, as a result of working with you, had a blink moment in which I changed the trajectory of my life, or I stayed on the same trajectory, but I got rid of 80% of things that were just not working for me, and I found that other things served me best. Tell me, what is that like?
So people definitely come back for different stages. Yeah. I've got people I've worked with all of that way. I've got people who've stayed working with me for over 20 years. I've got people who've worked with me for periods of time and then come back. So I had a woman who I worked with for a period of 3 months. We worked out it was 20 years, and I hadn't spoken to her since, hadn't heard from her. And then she found me on Facebook.
Right.
And after 20 years, and she reached out to me and she said, oh my God, I think of you all the time. This is what's happened in my life since. I'm so grateful for your input and support. And we had the most amazing conversation. I cried, she cried. After 20 years, this woman, it was incredible. So when you have really profound support, in your life to support you to be fully who you are, it's such an impactful thing. Do you know what I mean? To have that kind of support. Where someone's not your mother, brother, husband, wife, teacher, doctor. It's a whole different dynamic where someone's just purely dedicated to support you to realize all that you can. It's a very special dynamic.
What would your advice be to somebody who's in uni who says, I don't know what my passion is, or I don't know what, I don't know what my curiosity is. I'm curious about everything, or I just don't know and I don't know and I feel like I need to figure it out. What would your advice be to them?
Particularly in Asian countries, but it happens the world over, you could be very influenced by your parents' desires for you to follow a certain career.
Right.
And that might be okay to do if you feel compelled to do that. So whether it be after you do that degree or whether it be before you do that degree,
right.
I really encourage people to spend time to get to know yourself. That means doing reflective practice, which means doing journaling. It means doing mindful practices. It means doing some workshops that help you to learn about yourself and your passions and your interests. So definitely connect with other people, join some groups, join some meetups, whatever is in your domain that invites you to be able to reflect on and to figure out who you are. And you don't have to have the final answer to who you are. When I was going to go to university originally, I knew I wanted to help people, but the degree I first wanted to do was a clinical psychology degree. And clinical psychology degree is helping people go from who need to heal something. And I didn't do that degree because I pivoted and I went and did hotel management. But in actual reality, it was very similar. It was about serving other people and helping other people. And so when I came back to eventually study various different forms of psychology, I studied a very different type of psychology. I studied self-actualizing psychology that helps people to go from good to great, which is a completely different field. And so everyone was telling me, Michelle, you should have gone to psychology, originally. Why are you going to hotel management? But I just had a feeling. So you have to take time to listen to those feelings and trust your gut feel. Trust your gut feel to take you on a journey, which will be meandering. It won't be a straight line. Right. The biggest thing that I've seen from coaching thousands and thousands of men and women is that it's not a straight line. And if you want to succeed, you need to be comfortable to be who you are and figure out to get your self-confidence and to have the self-esteem. That's where happiness comes from, and that's where fulfillment comes from. And it's also where your success comes from. I can't be Lady Gaga. I think she's incredible, but I can't be her. I can only be me. And
the best version of you.
She has had this weird, at times, extremely difficult life, but I'm doing my thing. And that's the thing that gives me so much joy.
Fascinating. Excellent. Yeah, best advice. And I think throughout this entire conversation that we've had for Women Embed, there have been so many different gems, from how to get through the tough times, about following your curiosity, about how, success is not a linear path in which, you choose a profession and then these are the steps to getting, no. And in fact, I think there's just so much goodness here and so much that people can learn from this, regardless of where you are in your career or in your life path. There is just greatness here. So again, I thank you so very much, Michelle, for joining us today. This is,
you're welcome.
Wow, this is a jolt of inspiration for me today. So I thank you.